This is Ironblood, a dark fantasy audio drama of prophecy, power, and the slow burn of betrayal. In a kingdom where truth is a weapon, every secret draws blood.
The body is the first kingdom. It must be ruled before all others. I begin my stretches, controlled movements, shoulders, arms, hips, spine. There's an elegance to it, but no vanity. These are stretches that speak of scars beneath fabric, of hours sparring until dusk, and then again at dawn. Small pale lines on my shoulders and sides. Faint ghosts of my past lessons. Once finished, I brush out my long red hair, tamed into a tight braid with sharp, practiced hands. Then set my nightgown aside for a simple linen tunic and leather breeches. But over this, I don my cuirass, polished steel over my heart. It catches the morning sun, gleaming like resolve. I enter the training room, a large sunlit space lined with weapons of every kind, swords, spears, axes, even longbows. The floors are worn smooth from years of footwork. Dust motes swirl in the golden light like tiny spirits. Boots echo on the stone. Belmont enters with a grin wide as his mustache. His armor clinks with every step. Scarred, well-loved, and still dependable. His gray hair is pulled back, with streaks of darker iron still threading through, and that bushy mustache twitches like it's listening for danger or jokes. Helmet under one arm, his smile is warm. He bows slightly. Not too formal, just enough to tease respect.
Good morning, Your Majesty. Ready to take on the day's beatings?
I turn from where I'm tightening the straps on my arm guards and meet him with a faint smile, more than most ever see from me. Belmont, if you try to flatter me into a lighter hand, I fear for your bones. You're getting old, you know. He laughs, the sound echoing like old leather creaking in a familiar way.
Aye, but the gods left me just spry enough to knock you on your royal backside if you dare blink.
Ha! Then I'll be sure not to. I draw my sword from the rack, clean, elegant, balanced. My grip on the hilt is reverent. Begin when ready. We move to the center of the ring. 2 warriors. One old, one royal. Both dangerous. Swords rise, and the dance begins. A mind follows the body. The kingdom follows the queen. And the queen must follow no one. Belmont lands a light tap on my shoulder with the flat of his blade. I don't flinch, but my brow lifts.
First blood to the gods, not the crown. Don't worry, I'll keep that quiet at court.
They'll never believe you bested me. You're far too humble. We trade a few more quick blows. I start pushing harder now, faster, sharper, testing his reflexes.
Ha, there she is. I was starting to think the speaker turned you to marble.
That name lands like a blade tip between heartbeats. I pull back, just a breath too late to hide it. They spoke nothing.
Then they said everything.
A moment of stillness. Belmont lowers his sword just slightly. and concern flickers beneath the bravado.
You've got that edge in your eyes again. The one you wore after your father's fall.
Good, I'll need it.
Still better sleep than the forest floor. Still a better bed than mud. I wince, running a hand down my face. My mouth tastes like something stale and fermented. I swing my legs off the bed and stand, slowly, deliberately, like a cat after a fight. Moving to the basin, I swirl cold water in my mouth and spit again. The taste of old wine still lingers like unwanted truth. I comb through my hair with long fingers and dress in a robe of deep lapis blue, soft, rich, and well-fitted, calming, but not forgettable. I cinch the belt, pin a small crest, nothing grand, and step into my boots. I pause to look at them, scuffed from travel, worn at the heel. Time for a new pair anyway. In the parlour, the nobles have already begun picking at small fruit pastries, sipping fragrant tea from silver-rimmed cups. Murmurs fill the room. Gentle, clipped, noble laughter folded between porcelain clinks. I enter with an easy smile, just a hint of weariness in my eyes to excuse a slower stride. Morning, gentlemen, ladies. Please tell me the tea is stronger than the wine we drowned in last night. A few chuckles ripple through the group. Someone scoots over slightly to make space for me. I sit, accepts a cup, sips. It's floral, too light, but better than wine. I eye the table. No main course yet. Good. I'm ravenous. Let them see me laugh. Let them see me yawn. Let them believe I'm still half asleep. I let my eyes scan the room lazily, noting every noble present, what they wear, who they sit near. Every gesture is another brushstroke on the canvas of courtly alliances. Today's mission was a simple one. Go into the city, buy boots, pry open hearts. I'd heard the Queen was beloved by her people, called Protector, Sister of the Flame, even Saint of Stone by some. But stories can be dressed like gods and still bleed like men. Words hold water only as long as mouths hold silence. Someone in that town knows a truth I can use. All I need is the hairline fracture. Just enough space for the tip of a dagger. I lift a croissant, bite into it, and I smile like I'm not planning a quiet revolution between flakes of pastry.
I sit at a wide table of polished black oak, its surface cluttered not with clutter, but order. A thick leather-bound tome lies open before me, its diagrams of battle formations and arrows of movement laid bare like choreography for war. Opposite me, two ladies in waiting whisper softly over their own cups, their eyes occasionally glancing at their queen, but not daring to disturb me. My plate is minimal. Too much food can cause too much fatigue. A boiled egg sliced neatly, a piece of toast crusted golden, and a few ripe figs. My cup is clay, simple, yet stained dark from daily use. I lift it and take a long sip, not dainty, but measured. The taste is familiar, deep, herbal, almost bitter. It's mate, jungle fire in a cup. I close my eyes for a moment, not out of tiredness, but memory. The scent carries me back to thick green vines, suffocating heat. The whine of insects louder than arrows whizzing past my head. We bled under those trees, and the gods know I hated every moment of it, except the fight. But the monks earned their coin, and their tea, the only good thing that came out of that jungle.
Your Highness, the Lord Kalen has requested his horse be saddled. He says he intends to go into town to purchase boots. Shall I send a scout to tail him?
I do not immediately look up. I instead finish my sip and set the cup down with a soft clink and finally meet his eyes. My expression is unreadable, calm, calculating. To town? For boots then? I linger my gaze a beat longer, then a subtle tilt of the head. Yes, send a tale. I expect a report by sundown. I have a meeting with the general today.
At once, Your Majesty.
He exits silently, like a leaf swept by wind. Left in the stillness again, I glance once more at my pages of battle formations, but I'm not reading anymore. My mind is elsewhere. Boots, huh? Is that what you're really doing, Zevir? Or are you up to something else entirely? Like a secret meeting of your own, I wager. My eyes flick to the stained glass. Sunlight catches the reds and golds, throwing fractured light across my cuirass. I don't smile. I never smile when I feel like I've already won the next move. The war room is not loud. It is listening. Windows, tall and narrow, cast fractured light across the scarred oak table in the center. Its surface bears the wounds of planning, gouges from knives, scorch marks from sealing wax, and the faint ink stains of lives rewritten. Tokens mark cities, soldiers, supply lines, tiny beasts carved in stone and brass. The continent looms on the wall behind, stitched with borders and blood. Lord Marshal Keston stands, broad, gray-streaked, with arms that could break shields. Beside him, Belmont leans in, arms crossed, mustache twitching, already reading. They look up. Keston bows. Belmont nods, barely suppressing a smirk. Gentlemen.
Majesty, we've had 3 caravan attacks near the Iron Borderlands this week. Small parties with light armor, precise strikes, goods taken, but no senseless blood.
Organized, not desperate. They are not amateurs.
I say nothing at first. I circle the table like a hawk above a field. Eyes darting, reading trails, threads, traps. Casualties?
1 guard dead, 2 injured, all close to Iron Watch.
They aren't charging in. They're testing us. I pick up another token. This one a wolf. It hovers over a defunct guild outpost. Remind me, Belmont, this smell of caution, this rhythm, does it echo the knives?
Could be. But the knives used to show off. Bone tokens, knife marks. Now they're ghosts, so either they've grown smarter or someone new's wearing their skin.
Could be someone old, someone careful.
This isn't chaos, it's choreography. No full battalion, not yet. I want 5. 3 scouts, 1 tracker, 1 with ears in the dirt, quiet feet, sharp eyes, mouths sealed.
They'll be in the hills by dusk.
Good. I want written reports every 3 days. If they're late, assume they're dead. Belmont, what's your instinct?
They're watching us, same as we're watching them. So I say we bait the trap and make sure the teeth are poisoned.
Excellent. I turn from the table. Behind me, strategy takes root. Fast, cruel, clean. Like ivy up a blade. In the battlefield of maps, there are no screens. Only silence and surrender.
I ride tall in my saddle, posture perfect, yet somehow relaxed. I'm wearing blue today. Cool, composed, intentional. Beside me, a slight young servant boy, Finn, grips the reins of his smaller gelding. Finn is thin, wide-eyed, and clearly trying not to stare at me too much. I lean slightly toward him, speaking with that calculated warmth that makes even wolves seem friendly. So tell me, Finn, what sort of things should I be aware of in the castle? Little rituals? Superstitions? Does Her Majesty pick her nose when no one's looking? Fart after roast duck? Or, gods forbid, harbour some secret festering wound hidden under her finery? Finn almost falls out of his saddle, trying not to choke on the laugh that comes unbidden.
No, my lord. Goodness, no. Nothing like that. The Queen, she's kind. Generous. Yeah, a bit stern, sure. But we've all thrived because of it. No one goes hungry. We all got a warm place to sleep. We're safe, mostly, aside from the usual lot. Thieves, drunks, the occasional bad coin in the barrel. But the Queen, sir, she don't let anyone fall through. Not if she can help it.
No one starves? No one's without home? That's expensive.
It is, but not in the way you'd think. The Queen teaches as much as she fights. Her father was a right bastard, taxed us till our ribs showed. Then came the invaders. They murdered him in the riots. She was just a girl, grew up in the shadow of all that, learned swords from the old captain, Belmont. When she came of age, she took it all back, kicked out the invaders, and took her place on the throne. Then she gave the gold back to the people. She taught us to fight, to farm, to heal, and to trade. Even those who can't work still help somehow, like old May in the kitchens, or Roldan who carves candles with no eyes to see. She finds a place for everyone.
So she took back a kingdom and gave it to her people.
Aye. And anyone who tries to take it from her again, well, they'll find out she's still that girl with a sword in her hand, just smarter and not alone.
Silence again. The road crests a hill. Below them, the town sprawls in morning light. Bustling market stalls, smoke from chimneys, people already at work. I narrow my eyes at the motion of it all. So alive, so loyal. I exhale through my nose. The game has changed, and I can feel it. Not because I found a crack, but because there might not be one. Not yet, anyway. The sun crested over the slate roofs, like a warm hand laid gently on the shoulder of the waking world. Town bells clanged out the hour, not in alarm, but in rhythm with the life below. The clip-clop of hooves slowed to a halt outside the town stables. I dismounted in one fluid motion, landing with a grace too smooth for any noble son. I've made a mental note to stiffen it up next time. Finn scrambled down behind me, adjusting the reins with care, humming a tune only boys and birds remembered. Impossible. I expected rot, slop, the stench of despair, and the shuffle of half-dead children fighting rats for crusts of bread. Instead, I found a fairy tale. Cobblestone streets, dry and clean. Fresh cut flowers in planters hanging from windows. Children darting past with carved wooden toys. Their laughter light and unsuspicious. Vendors wave to one another across the square. Not in competition, but camaraderie. Boots remain still, like they dared not sully this dream.
Well, my lord, where to first?
My green eyes scan the scene again. Baskets overflowing with red apples and braided loaves. Copper fish still twitching at the stall. Rolled fabrics the colour of dusk. Stalls with meat sizzling over open coals. The air thick with honey and roasted fig. No hollow cheeks. No glazed eyes. Just life. Radiant and real. Yes, she helped build all of this?
Sure as sun up. Everyone asks that and then they see it.
I didn't answer, couldn't. A knot had formed at the base of my throat, tight and humming. Because this kind of peace, it wasn't ruled, it wasn't imposed. It was earned. And worse, it was working.
Come on, sir. Let's head to the cobbler for them boots, eh?
And so we walked, side by side, through a kingdom of ordinary miracles. All the while my mind wasn't on boots. It was on the woman in the throne room with steel in her spine and secrets in her eyes. I'd come to kill a tyrant, but what if she'd already killed the need for one?
If it isn't little Finn and his long-legged shadow, what brings you skulking around my wares?
Morning, Miss Tova. My lord here's looking for boots. Sturdy ones. No noble nonsense.
He walks like a man who's been wearing corpses, not cobbling.
Heh, I'd argue with you, but I'm here to be humbled. Go on, shame my souls. She snorts, wipes her hands on a rag, and circles the counter.
Take off the boot, sharp tongue. Let's see what the dirt's told me about you.
I obey. Slowly. She kneels and examines my foot with the same reverence a smith gives to sword balance.
Long toes. Scar tissue here. Arrow graze? You step heavy on the right. Injury or guilt?
Insults don't usually come with divination.
You want the fit or not?
Shh. She's half oracle, you know. Used to walk with the speaker's order before she married the bootmaker. Says the feet never lie.
They never get the chance. I turn my attention back toward the street. A man stumbles past outside, drunk but harmless. Two children dart past him and toss dried flower bundles toward the doorframe. A merchant sings an old tune just loud enough for the words to carry.
She buried her crown under oak, under bone, under battle-scarred ground.
That song, that's not praise. That's memory.
Try these. Elk hide, soled with iron, made for a long road and uncertain destinations.
She offers the boots, and I take them without breaking my stare on the street. You heard the song?
Everyone's heard it. The ones who live through it sing it.
I nod in understanding as I'm pulling on my boots. The people don't serve her out of fear. They remember. And memory is a blade that cuts both ways.
The war room had been cleared, but I hadn't left. Maps still lay spread across the long oaken table, inked with troop movements, scouting reports, and the delicate, fraying threads of strategy that felt less secure by the day. One hand rested on the iron borderlands, my fingertips grazing the drawn mountains like I'm trying to feel what hid inside them. But the paper did not speak. I didn't need it to. I already knew. It's not brigands. Something else stirs. Not the petty chaos of starving thieves. This movement. It had rhythm, purpose, patience. Something waited in those mountains. And the timing of it, God's damn it, it would rise now. My lip curled slightly as my fingers flexed. In 3 weeks' time, I would be gone again, hidden in my chambers and locked away in shame behind velvet curtains and shuttered windows. The queen would disappear, and she would wake. Elisei. I hated the name. I hated the softness, the light, the songs, but most of all, I hated the need, because Elisei was not just a reflection of me, but because Elisei was a surrender, a glimpse of what I might have become had I not bargained with the Black Forest, had I not watched my father die trying to shield me, had I not crawled into darkness, clutching at bark and breath, whispering to trees old as silence itself.
Take whatever part of me you want. Just let me live. Let me fight.
And the forest did. It answered not in words, but in cleaving. I emerged days later barefoot and blood-streaked, eyes rimmed red with purpose. The wolves had howled all around me, but none dared bite. Something had changed. I had been split, spliced, balanced between war and wonder, and every moon since, I'd pay for it. The servants had begun whispering again of her, of a woman in white, gliding through corridors with grace like sunlight and eyes that did not judge but weep. They called her a twin, a secret sister, a ghost cloaked in silk and sadness. And maybe that was the cruelest rumor of all, because it was easier to believe that I once had a sister than to believe a queen could carry so much fracture and still wear a crown. I turn away from the map. My breath was slow, tight in my ribs. My cuirass still clung to me from the morning's training, but now it felt less like armor, more like a prison. I trace my thumb along a scar under my jaw, thin, white, nearly invisible. A gift from my first real fight. A reminder that I was not invincible, only willing. And soon, too soon, I would not be Virelya. I would be songs and softness and light. Not yet, Elisei. Just not yet. I step out of the chamber, each footfall a silent drumbeat of defiance against time. There was still war to plan, still threats to unveil, still a knife-shaped man in my court playing dress-up with nobility and secrets. I would handle them all before the light returned.
We've made our way to the Copper Hen, one of the local taverns in town. The barmaid approaches, tray in hand, and her eyes flick back and forth from Finn, then back to, God's helper, me.
More me, gentlemen? Or just enjoying the view?
Finn straightens, almost too fast, but catches himself. Breath, shoulders back. He meets her eyes. Then...
Miss, forgive me for the boldness, but I was wondering if I might bring you lilac someday. You've haunted me since you smiled.
A beat, silence. Her cheeks turn the color of sunrise on fresh snow. A little blink. A little intake of breath. Then the kind of laugh that melts ribs.
Well then, you better bring 2 bunches. My sister'll want to know what kind of fool let a poet into her tavern.
She sets down the tray, her hand brushing Finn's ever so slightly. just enough to make him freeze. Then she walks off, hips swinging a bit more than before. I raise my mug in a slow toast, smirking. There! You've started a legend! Next comes heartbreak, or a porch.
Gods, I think I'm gonna build that porch.
We sit in a moment of shared silence, sweet, aching, filled with potential. Then, a courier enters, dust-covered, short of breath, scans the room.
Lord Kalen, message from the palace. Black wax.
I don't move right away. I finish my drink, then stand. Watch the girl. Don't let her forget you. Then I turn toward the courier, face unreadable again. Peace is lovely, but it always ends with a knock.
My queen. Let's hope this is good, because I was balls deep in a servant girl with tits like melons on a summer day and a snatch tighter than a coin purse.
The words rang through the stone like the horns of war. I didn't even flinch. Instead, a slow smirk curled my lips, and I stood, arms wide, stepping toward him. The clasp of our hands was more than greeting. It was a bond between warriors, a clasp hardened by the weight of battles fought shoulder to shoulder. How in the gods' name did you bag that one, Briggum? Surely it wasn't your looks. We laughed, the sound echoing like old war drums through the chamber. Briggum, hulking, grizzled, and still wearing the scars of a dozen campaigns, grinned with that crooked mouth that always suggested he knew exactly where to hit a man hardest, both in body and pride.
Hey, you know I can charm 'em like a prince, except I've got more balls and less lace. That's what a woman really wants. Not shiny shoes and soft hands. Balls.
He thumped a mailed fist over his belt buckle with exaggerated flair. Another chuckle. Then, as if on cue, both of our expressions changed. The warmth flickered and was gone. We'd laughed. Now it was time to lead. My finger slid over the map and stopped at a faded red mark near the iron borderlands. My nail tapped the parchment once. Do you know this region, Briggum? Here, beyond the fourth hill, where the old watchtower used to be.
Aye, ugly place, sparse, rockier than a whore's excuses. Used to be a hideout for raiders before we smoked 'em out. Not much else out there anymore, or so we thought.
My jaw tightened. I've had a vision. Something stirs there again. Brigham's head turned sharply. All joking gone now, replaced by the steel of a commander readying for war.
You mean your kind of vision?
Yes, my kind of vision.
Well, that's a shit omen if I've ever heard one.
I crossed my arms, eyes never leaving the map. I need to know if we send men or shadows. This could be bigger than brigands, worse than rot. If I'm right, we're dealing with something old, something breathing life again. Briggum leaned on the table, studying the terrain, the routes, the lines he knew, like scars on his own back.
Give me 3 days. I'll ride out with a small force. Quiet ones. Good blades. Belmont'll want to come too, if I know him.
I want answers, Briggum, not corpses. If we need corpses, well, we'll make them. He gave a crooked grin, tapping the hilt of his sword.
Aye, that's the queen I follow. You ever get tired of being right, Vera?
No. But I'm tired of being the only one who sees it coming.
You've been listening to Ironblood. The crown is heavy, the blade is drawn, and the game is only beginning. Until next time, stay sharp.